What's up, tricksters, and welcome to another, not only tricksters, but tricksetters as well. Just a second. What's up, tricksters and tricksetters, and welcome to another Tier 3 sub VOD review presented by your favorite Radiant coach. Today at our coaching table, we have a Neon main playing on Lotus in a Platinum 1 elo. His name is Cusf, and let's see what KSF has to say to us. I probably destroyed his name. Now, problems. Communication. I rarely communicate with my team due to numerous factors and was wondering if that was a huge deal in my games. Yes and no. Let's speak about communication once again for a bit. So, question number 1. Is communication, just a second, big, bold, communication important in Valorant? Essentially, yes, but you don't need to be a professional IGL. Every single player that I coach, I never coach players to IGL their team. There's no reason to do that. The more you simplify your gameplay, the more simplify your comms, the more success you're gonna find in ranked solo queue. Especially in between Iron 1 and Immortal 3. And especially in between Iron 1 and Ascendant 1 in low elo. So, what should you communicate? What you see, what you want to do, and the most necessary comms. Like, you know, if you need some very specific piece of utility from your teammates, ask for that specific piece of utility. If you see that your teammates are doing something fundamentally very, very wrong, try to correct them. Even if your teammates, like, deny your call-out. You know, they completely ignore it. They maybe mute you, start fighting with you. Okay, at least you tried. At least you tried to be a good teammate. And how you communicate is even more important, whether or not you actually communicate. What I mean by that? Like, the tone of your voice, how persuasive you are, matters a lot. You cannot give, like, some, you know, call-outs that are not confident. Hey guys, I think we're gonna push, we should push B set in this round. Fuck this shit. Hey guys, we're pushing B. Whoever doesn't push the B, his mother is fucking bald. From the stage 4. So, you know, you need to persuade them somehow. Tell them you're gonna buy them a free Valorant points. I don't know, lie to them. Anything. And anyways, like, you know, what is more important for you is that you're actually noticing your teammates' mistakes and providing a silent support for your allies. Remember that silent skill of silent support is far more important than communication. So what is a silent support? You supporting your teammates, compensating their mistakes without actually telling them anything. Like, that's why every other skill set is far more important than comms. You know, game knowledge, decision making, team play, adaptiveness, mechanical skill. Those 5 skill sets are light years away from communication and much more important. But, you know, you should, in the first 4 rounds of every match, very important to navigate your teammates and tell them what to do. On both attackers and defender side. Whenever enemies are eco or hull by, on both attack and defense, very important that you navigate your teammates in a smart way, in a good way. When the match is going to shit, and you have a very, very good strategy to counter the enemies, give that strategy to our allies. But always simplify your strats. So that, you know, we're not like, the comms cannot be too complicated. You know, some brains of these players in ranked solo queue are not big enough. They tunnel vision on their gameplay. And also, no matter what type of a call-out you give to your allies, whenever you give a call-out, look at the minimap and observe your teammates for at least 4 to 5 seconds. Because sometimes, even if you give a call-out to your teammates, you'll have to repeat it 2, 3, 4 times. Or maybe your teammates are not going to listen at all to your call-out. And then what's going to happen? they just ignore it and do their own shit. And if they do their own shit, then you just adapt to your allies. And, you know, this skill set can also be practiced, same as anything else. Like, there's so many trainings you can do to improve your communication skills and your overall, like, charisma, you know, riz in the game. Like, don't be cringe, like, to be honest. So yeah, that's the topic of communication. Attack. I feel my attacker side really lacks when comparing to defense. Okay? Generally speaking, like, majority of your games in Valorant, you win or lose on a defender side. Like, how you play defense is far more important than attack. Because on defense, it's easier to counter the enemies, like, to actually make the numbers advantage immediately. Like, it's just easier to compensate the mistakes of your allies and provide the silent support if you're properly reading the game. Now, on defense, I consider myself quite good at anticipating where enemies may choose to go and how to abuse their strategies. But on attack, I'm horrible. I'm horrible at it. Okay. We'll see what you can do better. I mean, obviously, like, you don't want to be, like, you cannot have, like, 40% win rate on the attacker side. Like, your attack should be equally as good as your defense. We'll see what is the problem during the VOD review and how you can fix that problem. Tunnel visione. Sometimes I tunnel vision too much to the point where my reaction time is like 1 second late. A reaction time to what? I don't really understand this this question. What you tunnel vision on? Like you know, I need to ask him this, like, through private messages. Like, sometimes I tunnel vision too much to the point where my reaction time is like, tunnel vision on what? Minimap, tunnel vision on your screen, on like, your reaction time is bad in terms of decision making, like, you know. But again, we'll see during your gameplay, like what did you actually mean? Probably. I mean, tunnel vision gets better as you're improving, like, every single skill set of yours. Like, essentially, you know, a good player in Valorant is a player that can play the game on a good autopilot mode. So what do I mean by that? Like, your game knowledge, your decision making, your team play should be always on a good autopilot mode. And that is the type of player you want to become. So that you can only focus on your mechanical skill, like how you want to engage the enemies, how you want to fuck them up, and on your adaptiveness. Reading your teammates, reading the enemies, and making the best possible decisions. So, like, you know, we'll see. I mean, there's a training for tunnel vision as well. Like, I just don't understand the question, you know, like, exactly. Other problems. I know I have many other problems that I don't know about, so I would appreciate if you could tell me, if you could let me know what those are. That's the purpose of the VOD review. And also, you know, you'll get some kind of a training as everyone, you know, when you purchase this type of a VOD review, most of the players get some kind of a training that they're gonna do for a few months, few weeks. I have like 100 pre-recorded trainings, aim trainings, like, we'll find something for you. I cannot make something custom for you because this is not a private coaching, but we'll see what we can do. Other informazione. I play duelist, initiator, or controller to fill. I play every agent from each class depending on the map. You're Platinum 1, bro. How many agents do you play? You know, up to Immortal 3. You want to master 4 agents. And after Immortal 3, 6 agents. You don't want to play 20 characters in Valorant. Because in order to truly master 1 agent in Valorant, you need to spend at least 300 to 500 hours with that agent. Omen requires minimum 500 hours. Jett, 300. Then, like, you know, Raze, 500. Like, don't feel, man. How many agents do you play? I mean, we're gonna see it right now. I'm most comfortable and play the best on duelist because I have the most fun. I run it down. Team compositions don't matter until Immortal 3. And even then, it's like, better team will always win. As long as we have a good controller for that specific map that we're playing, nothing else matters. You can win a match with 4 duelists and a good controller. It doesn't matter. Better team always wins. Like a few days ago, Look at this, guys. Just look at this. This is the proof. Let me find it. Look at this match. 4 controllers and me playing on a Jett. And we won the match. Why? Because enemies were absolutely dogshit during this game. You never know. You never know, essentially. Like better team always wins in Valorant. Only for, you know, in Immortal 3 and Radiant, it's kind of good to have, like, you know, meta team compositions and play meta characters. But in low elo, you need to be more selfish. You want to improve yourself. You want to control the outcome of the rounds yourself. You need to play versatile and self-sustainable agents. So if duelist role suits you well, and you have most fun on duelist role, run it down. I believe in you, and you should believe in yourself. Now, this is terrible. So, time for the tracker review. But this is terrible, brother. Like, so we got gold in less than 300 hours, which is slightly above average. And then we spent 2 years, around 2 years in Platinum/Diamond 1. This is a hardstock player. Yes, you know, when it comes to your playtime, it fluctuates a lot. Basically, you know, if you want to have a consistent improvement in Valorant and see some significant improvements, you want to have a consistent playtime as well. Like, you don't want to play one act 120 hours and then the second act 17 hours because you got burnt out from the game. It would have been much better if you had a consistent playtime every single act while you're also focusing on some kind of a good training rather than, you know, one act, you give it your all and then you stop playing the game because you're bored or you don't see any improvements anymore. Like, and also one more tip, if you already have time to play more, you know, to play like, let's say 110 hours during an act, I would highly recommend you to split your playtime on 2 accounts. I have explained this concept in my consistency guide on my main YouTube channel. Just watch that video. Like, it is stupid to grind only on 1 account in this specific elo. And to be honest, I mean, we can say that this guy is like actually, you know, Diamond 1, not really like a Platinum 1, to be honest. You know, we're gonna say he's Diamond 1 because he did reach Diamond right now. I don't know, man, like, consistency and quality in Valorant is far more important than quantity. Like, how you spend the time in the game, how much focus you are you doing some proper training, proper warm-up, proper aim training routine? Like, that's how you develop yourself. And this playtime is only missing a bit of a consistency. You know, in the acts where you actually play the game, well, it's good. You know, you're playing the minimal optimal amount, which is like around 3 ranked games per day. But in some of the acts, like, you don't play at all, and that's gonna hurt us a lot. This act, not bad. I mean, in this act, he got Diamond 1 again. All of his statistics, this act are optimal. Like, headshot percentage for a Diamond 1 player, very good. Like, my overall mechanical stats, very good. KD above 1.1, optimal, very good. ADR 150, very good. The only statistic that is not shit, but suboptimal for you is KST. And this is very important. Like, this is the reason why you're not seeing a higher win rate. All of these stats right here don't matter at all if this statistic here is bad. And if you're not winning the games and winning the rounds. Kills don't matter. Damage doesn't matter. Only thing that matters is, are you a valuable asset for your team? And are you actually controlling the outcome of your rounds and outcome of your matches? Whenever I see this type of a tracker from my coaching students, we know immediately what is the problem. You don't know what is the smart gameplay in Valorant. You're focused way too much on the kills. you don't know how to play safer and value your life a bit more. You need to bait your teammates in some of the games in order to win them. You need to control the outcome of your rounds and your games. If you get 2 kills and die in this elo, you don't know what your teammates are gonna do. They can easily lose even a 1 versus 4 round, 4 versus 1. Staying alive, playing smart, playing disciplined, respecting the numbers, respecting the economy, understanding the maps is mega important in this specific elo. Mega important. If, like, this doesn't matter. Like, literally doesn't matter. Like, all of this is optimal. Like, with these statistics right here, you should already be an Ascendant 1 player. But you're not Ascendant 1. You're not Ascendant because you don't know how to play Valorant. Like, you don't know how to carry the games, actually. Look at my tracker this act, for an example. Look at this. I mean, you listen here. Like, you cannot compare the statistics of a Radiant and Platinum player. I mean, in Platinum, I can have like 300 ADR, 5 KD, 50% headshot percentage because these players are terrible for me. But just look at the stats in general. All of them are like, okay. You know? There's not a single statistic that is actually really fucking good. Except the KST, clutch percentage, and how much I actually control the outcome of my rounds. You see, I don't fight that much. I don't deal that much damage during the round. But I only do the most necessary shit that I need to do in order to win a match. Like, I play Valorant like I'm working 9 to 5 job. I have certain tasks to complete. Once I complete these tasks, I only focus on the most necessary shit to close out that round. If I need to bait 3 of my teammates just to close out the round, I'll do it. If they're already aggressive monkeys hunting for the kill, I will do it. You know, if I have a teammate in front of me that wants to get a kill, I'll bait him, I'll refrag him, try to support him, potentially make him not lose his life, and then turtle in, go back, play on the numbers advantage. Your Valorant gameplay needs to be simplified. It cannot be complicated. The more you complicate your gameplay, the less success you're gonna find. Like, that's why I hate theory crafting in Valorant and people pulling out paints, Photoshop, After Effects to explain topics. This is a video game. It should be simple, and your pathing should also, like, your gameplay should be simple. Like, you follow around 100 rules, follow the right training, right aim training for yourself, improving the skill sets that you're lacking, and that's it. There are 60% of rules that every single player should follow if he wants to rank up, and 40% of rules depends, in which rank or which elo you're playing at that moment of time. Now, your clutch percentage is suboptimal, almost bad. This just tells us, how good you are in 1v1 and 1v2 scenarios. This needs to be a lot better. For a Platinum player, this number should be at least at 6 or 7% minimum for a Platinum player. Now, your amount of last deaths is probably horrible. Yeah, your amount of last deaths is 449, and you play 200 matches. A good ratio between last deaths and matches is 4-1. So you should have 4 last deaths in every single match, where you control the outcome of the rounds and your games. But Charlatan, I'm playing a duelist. I need to move in. I need to take side control. I need to fight. You don't need to do anything. Your job as a duelist is to apply the pressure onto the enemies and take some initial space. But with every duelist in Valorant, we have safe executes and we have the risky executes. And which execute you want to do, which type of a play you want to do, depends on a lot of factors. Which round you're playing, What is yours economy? Enemy's economy. How good or how bad are your teammates? Can you get an easy kill onto the enemies without even risking your life that much? Like, in the first round, I'm not gonna dash into the enemy's face and pick the first fight I have. Or glide into the enemies. Sorry. My job is to enter the site, stay alive long enough so that my teammates can support me. And also, if you want to play duelists, like, your minimap awareness needs to be really good, really high, and that is one thing that you need to develop. And your feeling for timings. When to move in, when to move out. That's why, you know, Jett, Omen, and Raze are the best agents to master and to learn. Why? Because they improve you, they improve everything for you. Like, when you invest like 1500 hours on Omen, Jett, and Raze, you become very versatile player. Like, because these agents require a lot of shit from you, a lot of awareness, a lot of game knowledge. And they're more beneficial for your grind than, you know, spamming someone like Reyna or Iso. Maybe your journey is gonna be slower, but it's gonna be more beneficial in a long run. Much more beneficial. Now, let me see something. Attacker side is, yeah. I mean, on defense you are a lot better than on attack, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, if I was you and I had these type of statistics, in the next 1 or 2 months I would really just focus on fixing my attack. But when attacker side is bad for a duelist player, it's all about the executes, it's all about which fights you fight, how you enter the sites, how you play the retakes, post plans, how you know, when you aggress the enemies. Timings are very important, like all of these skill sets. And that is what you're probably missing. A lot, I know, but all of this is easy to fix. Like, the hardest thing to fix is mechanical skill. The hardest thing. And a lot of people think that's the easiest shit. It's not the easiest. Because everybody has their own skill ceiling when it comes to mechanical skill. And sometimes, no matter how much you aim train, you're not going to be able to fix your mechanic. You're not going to be able to progress anymore. And that is why you need to rely on everything else. My mechanical skill right now is the bottom of Radiant. And it's been like that for the last 3 years. Why? I don't aim train, to be honest. You know, I just don't have time. It's boring for me, and then I don't have time at the end of the day. Like, I do a lot of coaching and that's it. A lot of content. But my mechanical skill is your threshold to get into Radiant. But the problem is, like, you know, some of you guys, like, just no matter how much you aim train at this moment of time, is not gonna work for you. That's why developing your game knowledge, decision making, diversifying your playstyles, it's so easy. Much easier than you know, improving your mechanics. Even though this is an FPS game, it's more a tactical shooter. It's a tactical game, not this is not Quake. It's not a Counter-Strike, bro. And from the agents that you main, like, you know, as I said, I would limit this shit a bit. Like, you're playing a lot, man, and feeling a lot. Like, if I was you, I mean, I don't know what you played before, to be honest. Like, we played Yoru, Sova, Raze, Jett, Sky, Gecko, Viper, Jett, Astra. What the fuck is going on, bro? Like, up to Immortal 3. 2 main agents, 2 alternative picks. Like, based on your statistics, I would just stick to the duelist role and maybe like pick, you know, initiators as well. I don't know, like, you know, controllers don't suit you that well as of right now, and we don't need them, fuck it. Like, what I would recommend you is just stick to Yoru, Raze, Neon, and Jett, and fill with the Sova and Gecko on the maps where the Sova and Gecko are good. And that's it. Fuck it. You know. Like, I don't know. Let me see here. So, agents to main until episode 9 act 3. So like we have, let's see which map is first for him. So we have like what? Yoru, Raze, Jett, Neon, Sova, Gecko. Those agents are the best for him right now. So like, you know, Icebox is #1 map. Fuck the Viper. Don't fill. Icebox here. So Jett main insta-lock. Jett is insta-locked, no problem. Pick the on this map. Pick the Raze or Yoru as a flex. Now these agents are locked in as well, you know, or Neon as well. You have a secondary duelist. You don't have a initiator. Fuck it, pick the Sova, pick the Gecko, and fill. That's it. Don't play anything else. Don't play Viper. If Viper is not working for you, fuck it. Drop her in the trash can. Lotus. Lotus, no problem. Lotus, Raze, Neon, main. Jett, Yoru, Flex, and Gecko, fill. Done. Done. Sunset. Sunset, Raze, Jett, main, Yoru, Neon, Flex, actually here like Gecko, sorry, Gecko, main, and Yoru, Neon, Sova, you know, some kind of a flex fill fix. No problem. No problem. Next map. Bind. I don't know why I'm playing Yoru on Bind, to be honest. Like, Jett, Raze on Bind, your main agents. Then we can pick like Neon and Yoru as a flex picks, and the Gecko, Sova as a fill. Done. Ascent. No problem. Ascent. Once again. Jett, main, and we follow this order. Bop, bop. Then we have Abyss. We can follow this order. Just I would put Yoru as a main here, and that's it. And we have Haven, no problem. Haven, same as this here. Done. So, this is the pick priority order that I would follow if I was you. Jett, Raze. Jett, Raze. Jett and Raze are basically your main agents. If I was you. And Yoru, Gecko, Sova, Neon, your flex picks. 6 characters that are very good characters, you know, agents, and all 6 of these agents kind of work for you. And just try to see which one of these agents work the best for you on a specific map. I mean, on Icebox, you have a very high win rate with Jett, as you should. Main the Jett. On Lotus, I would recommend you to try Raze instead of Neon. It's easier to carry the games with Raze instead of Neon. On Sunset, I would also go with Raze or Jett instead of Yoru. On Bind, Raze and Jett are far better than Yoru. On Ascent, Jett is better than anything else, but anything can work. On Abyss, Jett and Yoru are definitely the best. And on Haven, you know, anything can work, but once again, I would just prioritize the Jett. Or Raze, Yoru, Neon, whatever. So, try to stick only to these 6 agents and stop with the fucking filling. You know, filling with, I don't know, you played here like what? Breach. You played Killjoy. Sky, Phoenix, Cypher, like, stop it. You know, focus on what works for you. And as a final part of this tracker review, okay, your full buy rounds are actually optimal. Really good. Semi-buy rounds, optimal. Really good. Pistol rounds, abysmal. Like, this is unacceptable. If you want to have a success grinding ranked solo queue, you should win 8 out of 10 of your pistol rounds on both attackers and defenders side. You need to have a solid strategist. You need to build a strong, solid fundamentals, how you play the first rounds. Like, for the first rounds, gunplay is very important. Understanding how to play them is very important. Understanding proper strategies is very important, and map knowledge. Like, I think that if I was not winning my pistol rounds as much as I do, I would never be a Radiant. Look at this. Your pistol rounds should be one of your strongest rounds when you're trying to grind Valorant. Because, you know, pistol rounds determine the rest of our economy, the mentality of your team. Like, games can snowball in low elo if you lose the pistol round. Like, we need to fix this for you. And we need to figure out how you can play pistol rounds better. Ranked playbook on my Discord server. Like, in my ranked playbook, I explain the best way to play pistol rounds on every single map in Valorant. Now, eco rounds are also like, you know, you need to have a better level of performance. You know, in eco rounds, you should have at least 1 KD. Try to trade yourself for at least 1 kill. This is not that bad. You know, it's just suboptimal. And you can become a bit more useful ally during those eco rounds. And, as per usual, you have way too many kills on Vandal and Phantom compared to other weapons. You need to develop yourself. Become versatile. Become John Wick. Like, what is this shit? You're playing Neon, Raze, Jett, and Yoru as your main agents. How do you have only 12 kills on a shorty? Literally impossible. Like, what else do you buy in your eco rounds if you're not buying a shorty? You buy a ghost? You buy a sheriff? Are you crazy, bro? Like, with these 4 agents, light shell shorty, dive into the enemies in platinum elo, diamond elo, dive into the enemies, bap bap, kill 1 enemy, take his gun, bap 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 bap. Round turns into a full buy round for you. You need to figure out a better way to play these eco rounds and to apply more weapons in your gameplay. Operator doesn't exist. Pick it up, master it. You're playing 4 duelists. 4 fucking duelists. Outlaw should be in top 5. The best anti-eco weapon in the game. You're playing on a defender side. You see that 3 out of 5 enemies, or 4 enemies, have less than 3,800 credits. Force the Outlaw. Don't buy a Vandal. Don't buy a Phantom. Buy the Outlaw. Go for the body shots. Bap, 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 bap. We save a bit of the economy. And in the next round, maybe enemies will fuck up their economy and buy light shields again. And then bap, 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 bap. Body shots. We take easy kills. And then in the round after that, enemies have heavy shields. So what? 2 body shots. Bap, bap. Enemies are dead. And even if you don't kill 2 enemies with 2 body shots, you applied 280 damage, which your teammates can use to win that round. Stinger should replace the Spectre. Stinger is far better. Eco Halberd weapon. Odin, amazing weapon. Lotus, Ascent, Haven. Very good solution when your teammates don't want to aggress the enemies, or we don't have a solution for the enemy's aggression. Judge on Bind. Close, you know, claustrophobic map. Master a variety of weapons. You need to do that. Like, you need to apply weapons based on the map that you're playing, based on what type of a strategy you want to execute, based on your economy, enemy's economy, and how you can get 1 free kill, make a numbers advantage, and then play with your team. Easier said than done? It's not. Absolutely not. Like, it's very easy to do it. Like, just... I mean, in every single VOD review, I have like 110 free VOD reviews on my second YouTube channel. In every VOD review, I explain like what you should buy, when you should buy a specific weapon. You follow very simple rules, like mega simple rules. Like, it cannot be more simple than than what I'm explaining in those VOD reviews. And that's it. When it comes to this tracker, like, good, very good stats, but you're not versatile enough. You're not controlling the outcome of your games enough, outcome of your rounds. And based on these stats, there is at least 3, 4, or 5 deaths that are unnecessary for you in every single match. Like, for example, in a 17-13 game, how do you die 15 times? You know. Then like, in 13-8 match, how do you die 13 times? In a 13-10 match, 16 times. Like, basically, you die a lot during your games, and you're not controlling the outcome of your rounds. A lot of unnecessary deaths. Like, in a 13-1 match, he died 6 times. How is that possible? Like, you need to focus on doing the most necessary shit to win the rounds. Like, simplify your gameplay a bit more, and you'll be fine. I mean, now we're gonna see like what you're doing in the VOD review. So it's time for the VOD review. Stinger or shorty in eco rounds depends how much money you have and which map you're playing. If you have like money to buy a Stinger with a light shield and some utility, do it. And if you're playing a claustrophobic map. If you don't have money for a Stinger and light shield, go for the shorty and light shield. If you're playing claustrophobic maps on a defender side, or you're playing dive characters on the attack. I feel like classic is easier for eco than a shorty, at least for me. A shorty is a free. Like, once you grasp the idea of using the shorty, and once you get punished a lot with a shorty and actually, you know, understand how to use the weapon, it's a free, you know, weapon for which free kills. Like, shorty is always for me the top 5 weapons. No matter what type of a challenge I do, no matter like how I'm playing the game, like, shorty is always in top 5 or top 7 for me. This hack just like, I don't know, I was experimenting with a bit different playstyle, and, you know, I was not using operator that much. Like, I played a lot of Omen again, like Gecko, Yoru, so I was trying to figure out some things. But shorty is such a free elo weapon. I mean, free kill weapon. I started buying Frenzy first round after watching Dr. Freezy. Dr. Freezy is hard stack in Immortal, you know? And there's not a single map or a single round where buying a Frenzy makes sense with Omen. Literally not a single map or a single round. Like, Frenzy is such a waste of money. Literally waste of money. Not worth buying the weapon. Statistically speaking, you have higher chances of winning the rounds if you're rocking with a classic light shield and utility, or on a defender side, classic shorty strategy that I'm teaching you. Like, stats don't lie, you know, like, you know. If Dr. Freeze's strategies actually worked, you know, a lot of times, he would have, you know, higher success essentially, and then be radiant already. It's all about the numbers and, you know, what you follow in your gameplay, what type of rules, strategies, tactics, and that's it. Okay, let's see what this guy prepared for us. I'm so fucking, you know, happy that we finally have a neon neon VOD review, man. I've been reviewing some stupid age, not stupid, just we've done a lot of Omen, Jett, Raze, like. Neon is gonna be a good one. Neon is gonna be a good one. Okay, there has been a change when it comes to this VOD review. We're not actually doing Neon on Lotus. The guy resubmitted a clip and he wants me to do a review of his Jett gameplay on Icebox in a Diamond 1 elo. So, when it comes to Icebox, let's talk about the map first. You know, attack, defense, all of that stuff. On the attacker side of Icebox, your number 1 priority and a default bomb site is A site for ranked environment. Number 2 priority B site. Number 3 priority mid area of the map. In ranked solo queue, especially if you're playing in low elo or medium elo, the best idea on Icebox is to try the 5-man playstyle in the first 4 to 6 rounds. So the first 4 to 6 rounds, just try to test the enemies on B and A and see how they respond to your executes and pushes. Basically, like taking the mid control, you know, splitting through mid, you don't need to do it in the first 4 to 6 rounds. Only if you notice that your 5-man executes are not working and enemies are actually, you know, stopping you, your teammates don't have good executes, or enemies are just much better than your whole team, then we need to start lurking, we need to start taking the mid, stuff like that. But, I mean, if you have a controller in your team, you know, like that controller should, almost every single round, give us a smoke on mid, just as an additional layer of pressure to, you know, waste the enemy's time and make the enemies think that we are actually lurking, flanking, and taking the mid control. Now, on Icebox, usually the best pattern of pushing on this map is like 3 rounds in a row, pushing the A site, and then in a 4th round, faking A and going B. Especially if you win the first 2... I mean, players in Valorant usually don't expect you to execute the A site when you're playing an eco, halberd, or a bonus round. And that's why this pattern of pushing can work, because, you know, if your first round push on A is fucked up, you know, if you lose the first round, chances are much higher that enemies are gonna stick and basically stack towards the B and towards the mid area of the map. And another rule that you want to follow on Icebox is that whenever enemies are eco or halberd on the defender side, avoid this area of the map. You don't need it. Essentially, you just don't need it. Like, just do a 5-man push on A, and that is the cleanest shit that you can do. Maybe wait for the enemy smoke to go down, re-hit the bomb site, play on a reframe potential. You know, gunfights on A site are very clean, primarily like medium range and long range, so it's easier to take the overall side control and less mistakes that your teammates can make compared to this, you know, claustrophobic B-man area of the map. Now, when it comes to playing Jett on Icebox, you know, how should you play the first round? Depends, you know, what you prefer as a player and like how much confidence you have to fight the enemies. So let's first get into the map. What's the condition for buying a shorty along with a vendor or full buy rounds? You have money for a shorty bite. Especially if you're playing agents with the smokes and dive agents, you should carry the shorty like 24/7. It's an easy weapon to get, you know, some cheesy kills and trade yourself for the kills. So, in the first round with Jett, like, these are your options. Option number 1. Force the sheriff. Activate the dash ability. With proper crosshair placement and movement, clear the rafters, headshot, this, take the initial contact, take the initial fight, and that's it. You have a dash ability, so if you miss a shot, if 2 enemies peek you at the same time, if the gunfight is not working in your favor, you can always reset yourself. Period. Second option. Ghost. With a smoke. Instantly taking the belt area of the map with a dash ability and taking the space control for your team. And then, once your teammates are ready to move in, you move in with them. Option number 3. Classic light shield. 2 smokes or a smoke and updrift. You drop down here from the belt, take this fight, clear the tower, and then from the pipes, engage the enemies with the dash ability. From the pipes, you can dash all the way there, for an example, and take all of this map control while your teammates are moving in, for an example. You don't need to do this. Essentially, you know, when you're playing Icebox, I've talked about this so many times. Like, your primary focus is moving from the upper ground, from the pipes, and from the belt, and engaging the enemies from this position and this position. Especially with the Jett, like, you know, one of your primary pathings should be doing a smoke here, taking the ropes, and engaging the enemies from the 410 generator. And remember that most of the times, on this map, when you're pushing A side, there is no reason to save your dash ability for an execute. Because on A side, executes don't exist. Like, it's a very open bomb site. There's nowhere to dash where you're absolutely safe and where you can be reframed by your allies. Like how you path with your allies, which duels you pick up, how well you play on the upper ground of the bomb site, how well you position yourself is far more important. And, of course, your raw mechanical skill and crosshair placement. So, as your teammates are doing this, you should be moving up here, or up here, supporting them. As your teammates are doing this, or this, you should be moving on top of the bomb site, and then supporting your allies, you know, in whatever the duel they pick at that moment of time. And that's kinda it. Like, there's no reason to complicate things, like, call for your Sova to give you the arrow here, call for the drones, tell your Viper to do a default smoke here, tell your Omen to do this smoke, you know, you don't need anything special. Clean duels, proper refrag game, proper movement, proper positioning, not committing yourself too much to some pointless 1v1 gunfights, and you'll be absolutely fine. Especially, you know, depending what type of team composition enemies have, depends how much I would actually avoid the B set on this map. Like, against the Viper, Sova, Phoenix, and Killjoy, pushing B set is not that fun, to be honest, because of, you know, like, Molotovs, shit like that, arrows. So in the first round, I would 100% go towards the A site.
Right there.
And we're actually immediately making a mistake, and now let's pray to God that enemies are stupid and bad. Now, whenever you're pushing the B site, number one rule is that if your teammates are pushing fast, so we're not pushing on contact, we're not playing slow, always go through the garage and run. Run in front of them. Run here, jump spot the enemies. They're playing here, here, and there. Clear this angle. Jump spot the enemies again. Get into this position. Check this. Check that. Check this. Check this. Activate the dash ability. And take the fight with the enemies. We can try to take maybe the yellow control. We can go into the bomb site. Depends which round you're playing and what is the goal. The only time when you should go here is if enemies are way too repetitive. Like, enemies are consistently holding you from this angle, holding you from this angle, activate the dash ability, pre-aim the enemies, pre-fire them, dead zone peek, take a kill. Take a kill. There's not a single other moment of time when you should do anything else. And doing this is an absolute waste of a smoke and dash and updrift. Like, you waste so much utility just to take this area of the map. And we don't even take the yellow. Never do this. It's not worth it in any case scenario. And in the first round, if you're pushing B and your teammates want to push B, I mean, probably the most optimal buy option is like goes with one smoke, because then we have a dash ability and a smoke. If we need to take aggressively the yellow and clear the yellow for our team and then move down, or, you know, if you need to make aggression towards the enemies, like, you know, one of your default executes with Jett on the B side should be something like this. Pre-assuming that you have a Viper wall here or an Omen smoke. And then we can take this fight, or with a smoke move into this smoke, contest the enemies in the CT, contest the enemies here, maybe fake the enemies. Make them think that we're pushing from the left side and we move from the right side. Depends. But on Icebox, like 80 or 90% of times, on the attacker side, you should be using your dash ability to take a fight and not actually to take the space. Because there's really no space to be taken. Except maybe when you're pushing through the mid area of the map, you know. Onto the boiler, or you want to go fast through the kitchen. That type of stuff is fine. But other than taking the yellow, you know, fast for your team, and like there's no reason to do anything. Only if you have a close range weapons, you know, then we need to have like some kind of an execute to pressure the enemies. Now let's see what our friend is gonna do.
Dizzy's up.
But I don't think this is gonna go well. I don't think this is gonna go well. Ooh.
Shadows traveling.
Do you want the tracker? What do you mean? We already did a tracker review yesterday of this account. Is that you? Okay. Mistake number 1. How he pathed and how they pushed the beam in area of the map. Like, you need to replicate the angle clearing and pathing that I've showcased you at the start of this round. In every single round where you have a long range weapon. Period. And also, no matter how much recon utility you have in front of yourself, when you're pushing the beam in area of the map, always check for the enemies here, 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 and here. Like these, I don't know, 8 positions, they need to be cleared. And you need to clear them. Because if you don't do it, you know, I don't know if your Diamond Ascendant teammates are gonna do that for you. Look at this, like, you know, you should have cleared the box first on the right. Maybe Charlatan is playing there with a classical shorty or some idiot, like, I mean, the strategy is not that good there, but you never know. Like, be more methodical. And this dash here, I don't know. Like, it would have been better if you actually took a fight with the enemies and waited for your teammates to path together with you. Like, okay, I mean, my dash, you know, your dash was still had like 1/3 of the duration. Take this fight, you know, take the fight at the yellow, so we always have an escape tool. When you're crossing this area of the map, most of the times what you need to do is just this. And then with the dash ability, take the fight here, take the fight here, here, here. Maybe you can dash towards the enemies, you know, behind the smokes. Take more space, and that's it.
Wingman's gonna plant spike.
This aggression here, right now, is absolutely unnecessary. I mean, if you have the Sage to wall the B, and Wingman to plant the spike, there's no reason to take more space right now. Especially in the first round. You know, the main rules in the first 4 rounds that you should follow is you don't trust your teammates. Like in the first 4 rounds, we need to see who are we playing with, like how good they are, how bad they are, and how much we can trust them. You want to take only the necessary fights that you need to take, and that's it. Right now, you don't need to take any fight. We have a wall, we have a wingman, we can play passively. All good. And another rule in the first 4 rounds, we are reading the enemies. We're trying to see how to counter them and what type of a playstyle we need to apply in order to, like, you know, fuck them up. And the third rule is, like, if you're playing a dive character, all of your executes should be safe executes without too much risk. Like, Jett has safe executes and less safe executes. Like, for example, if I'm pushing Lotus in the first round, I'm only gonna do smoke dash here if they don't have a killjoy or a cipher, and then I'm gonna wait for my teammates to move in. Once my teammates pick the contact with the enemies, I'm fighting with them. I don't want to be the first contact. I don't want to fight alone, especially in low elo and medium elo. You need to value your life a lot more, and your KST is shit because of that. What does he have? Black bars? Like, it is what it is, man. Anyways, this is not gonna go on my main YouTube channel, like, so I might as well, like, turn off my camera to rest a bit and to smoke this liquid cocaine. Okay, bro, I need to stop with a stupid joke. Like, I'm not cocaine addict, man. Only marijuana. Like, even though he got this kill, you know, this is an unnecessary aggression. Like, why? You know? Like, there, if you died there, An enemy should have been ready for this peak. If you die there, you open a Quran and like Bible, and you're praying to God that your teammates are gonna win this round. Like, how the hell do you have so much trust into these mental abominations in your team? Like, I always say to players, like, you know, like I coach variety of players. Like even in Immortal, when I coach an Immortal player, Immortal 1, Immortal 2, in the first 4 rounds, you just don't know who you're playing with, what you're playing with, how mentally stable your teammates are, how disciplined they are. You need to be the one that is in control of the rounds. And you need to avoid any unnecessary risk that you don't need to do. And then after the 4th round, you can go for a crazy plays. You know, maybe you'll have to play more aggressively, maybe more passively, like, I don't know. Depends what type of teammates you get. And this is, you know, this is the type of shit that is losing you the pistol rounds, for an example. Because I've seen that your pistol rounds are horrible. Let's see what happens here.
Nailed them.
No. That Sova is madman. But to be honest, like, you know what? Another rule that I teach players in Valorant is that essentially, the more things you try, the more success you're going to find. Like, essentially, you know, you're never gonna get lucky if you don't try things. Like, you see it during my games, like, I spam smokes a lot, I spam walls a lot, I try to go for some crazy shots, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I never, you know, I never go for some stupid spams and unnecessary spams, like, you know, I'm inside of the smoke and I'm spamming the enemies back. Like, that's fucked up. Like, that's fucked up, you know. If I'm in this smoke here, let's say, for an example, Viper has a smoke, like, I'm not gonna play inside of this smoke and try to spam the enemies back. But, you know, like, I mean, if I'm playing passively behind the yellow, enemies are spamming the smoke, they're moving in, why not? If I'm already not doing anything useful, and there's nothing useful for me to do, you know, try some shots. As long as you're safe, and you're not gonna die from that shit.
Thanks, little man.
Let's see this.
Reloading.
Reloading.
One enemy remaining.
3.
Reloading.
Last one down.
Okay. I mean, I really don't know. I really don't know, like, based on this first round, I really don't know what is your main problem in the first rounds, because we have 2 problems in this round. In this round, enemies played horribly wrong. And second problem is it's Icebox. You know, on Icebox, pathing, crosshair placement, mechanical skill is very important. So I can see on Icebox, you know, Sheriff can work. Obviously, you can always force the Sheriff in the first round on Icebox, on Abyss, Breeze, you know, those long-range maps. It's okay, it's all about the fighting. But I don't know what you do on other maps. And if you're not doing what I recommended players to do in the playbook on my Discord server, then you're kind of fucked, you know? Like in this elo. So, I don't know, you know, maybe through private messages you can send me, like, how you play the first round on Lotus, or first round on Ascent. Because on these maps, like, it's far more important what you do, and what type of executes you do, which type of fights you pick. On Icebox, I mean, all of this was fine, like, you know, casual, regular, first round on Icebox, like, whatever. Even though I think that pushing A site is still much better option, and it will grant you much higher success rate. Even though it's predictable, it's easier to control your teammates. Now, we won the first round, and as I said, like, whenever enemies are eco or hull by, or they're playing a bonus round on defense, avoid. Mid, avoid B. Just do a 5-man push on A, and you will have basically 80% higher chance of winning that round if you just do that. Period. Defending A side with eco weapons is really, really hard. And now, if you win the first round on Icebox, on the attacker side, in a second round, yes, you can go with the Outlaw and Heavy Shield. Or Outlaw Light Shield with utility. And just pick the enemies from the belt and try to delete them. You can also go with a Bulldog. Bulldog is probably the most optimal eco and halberd weapon and bonus weapon on the attacker side, and both attackers and defender side of Icebox. Why? Because on any range, one headshot is 115, body shot is 35, so you need headshot and body shot, one burst fire to kill the enemies. On the attack, I personally prefer Bulldog, and on defense, I prefer the Outlaw. Obviously, Outlaw is mega broken, like it's just a stupid weapon. You should use it. Let's see how he plays this round. Now listen, no matter what type of utility you have in front of yourself, in this when you're pushing the A site, keep a good habit where you're always pre-aiming this type of a peek. You never know when the enemy Jett is gonna use the updraft and engage you fast, when the Omen is gonna teleport here, and then fuck you up. Enemies are gonna take the ropes, engage you, be ready for that peek. Anyways, there is absolutely nothing better for you to do if you're pushing first onto the belt. You should be clearing this, and then peeking together with your allies. And your teammates behind you should be destroying the arrows. If they're not destroying you, you should destroy it, and that's it.
Cover going out.
This crosshair placement and angle clearing is fucked up. Essentially, this is the proper crosshair placement when you're pushing onto the A side of Icebox from the belt. If you're pushing without the dash ability activated, ride this part of the wall. So if you take some kind of a fight that is not working in your favor, or you're not ready to fight the enemies, two enemies are fighting you, you miss your burst fire, you miss 2 burst fires, you can always reset yourself with a knife out. Learn how to pad here without dropping down. I get in a fight, I can instantly do this, and then re-engage enemies with a dash ability. When you're clearing the angles, you always clear first rafters, this position, and be aware that enemies can be here. So my crosshair is here, but my eyes are here. I want to see the colors here, and be ready to fight enemies everywhere. Enemies can be here, there, and there. As I'm swinging this, my crosshair is here, my eyes are here. If an enemy is there, I'm instantly ready to kill him, and I'm just being aware that enemies can be here and there as well. Then we put our crosshair on headshot position because it is far more common than playing there or here. And then we just, clear the tower and clear this. Then we clear the left position of the tower and this spot. So my crosshair is here, but my eyes are somewhere there. So I'm able to catch the enemies here and here with my vision and react on them fast with a flick. And I'm ready for this peek. Then we check this off angle. People like to play it a lot. I recommend it a lot as well on a defender side. Then we put our crosshair here, but be aware that one enemy can also be sitting on top of the 410. So we can check the 410 first, this position, this position, this position, this off angle, and then we move in. And you just want to replicate that. And then when we reach this spot, when our teammates are ready to move in, or you are ready to move in, activate the dash ability, use a smoke here, get on the 410, fight the enemies on the right side, and, that's it. Not bad.
Wingman's planting. Reloading. Dizzy's up top.
What would you recommend to rank up faster, Gecko or Phoenix? Both are fine. Both are fine.
Spike planted. Thanks, Wings.
One enemy remaining.
Gecko is probably a bit better, man.
Enemy
I don't know.
Reloading. Reloading.
Okay. Okay, that was an easy
In
round.
the back.
Now, in this third round, even though we have, you know, close range weapons and hull-by weapons, eco weapons, I will push Aset again, as he is doing right now, because it is far more unpredictable. Like, I personally expect push on B 24/7 in ranked solo queue when enemies are eco and hull-by. Like, I start around the mid and I play a fast rotation between A and B. So, like, this is like solid. This is good.
Up and away.
No, like when you're engaging enemies from the belt, like you need to be more ready. Like you cannot swing the angles. First of all, without your gun out. Second of all, you need to ride the wall that is behind you, so you can drop down if you miss your shots. You know, you miss this, we can go down, or activate your dash ability. But peeking this with a gun out and not ready. What the fuck, bro? You should, to be honest, you should have been dead already here. Remember one thing. When you're in low elo and medium elo, it is much more important for you to build good habits and to take things slow and to do everything methodically rather than rushing things out and being sloppy. Speed is gonna come with time. You know, it is much more important right now to like develop a proper and a good autopilot mode where you don't need to think a lot, you know, when you're actually playing the game, rather than doing sloppy shit. Because up to Immortal 3, like, your game knowledge, your positioning, your executes, your strategies, your decision making, your team play, map awareness, that should all be on the autopilot mode. Like, when you reach Immortal 3, the only things that you should be thinking about is what the fuck are my teammates doing, what the fuck are my enemies doing, and how should I play with my teammates, how should I counter the enemies, and also like how I want to engage the enemies in the most efficient way possible. While everything else should be like good autopilot mode, crosshair placement, angle clearing, pathing, all of that stuff.
Hot shit.
Okay. I mean here, like, if you're pushing ASAP with snipers, like, you know, outlaw, operator, like, you can take things a bit more slow. Especially in low elo, like, players really like to over-aggress, to peek the angles, like, if your teammates are not moving in, you don't need to be the first one moving in as well. Like, activate your dash ability, wait to see if enemies are gonna peek some of these, you know, from some of these common angles. Try to delete one enemy before you actually take more space. Because trust me, in this elo, like, you know, nobody has discipline. Very rarely you'll find players that have, like, solid discipline. And punishing these idiots is mega easy. Question, would this tip, playing slow and stuff, work in bronze, silver, low elo to get better and rank up? Given that people in this elo are random? Yeah, absolutely.
He's up. Somebody's there.
Reloading.
Gun here.
You see, that's what I'm talking about. You know, like, he didn't need to play this aggro as his teammates were, you know, were playing passively. He could have just held, you know, some of these peaks, like, you know, people like to play here a lot. They get stuck. You can just hold that peak from the boxes, like, I don't know, from the tower. You can basically go with a operator or outlaw all the way here, and hold this type of an angle. Wait to see if enemies are gonna peek the rafters or the tower.
Reloading.
Chill a bit.
But
And also when it comes to your mechanical skill, already like, you know, your micro corrections can be much better. Like, and your overall static aim. We'll see. We'll see what we're gonna do with your aim and what type of aim training I'm gonna recommend you until the end of this one. This right here is mega risky and mega unnecessary. Like just a waste of object ability. Like just push. You know, when you're pushing B side, always push through the garage. Jump spot the enemies. And take the, you know, there's no reason to do this. Like even with the gecko flash, this is mega dangerous because enemies can maybe dodge the gecko flash. I mean, also God knows what type of a flash you're gonna have from your teammates. Like this is unnecessary risk. Absolutely.
Going out. Shadows traveling.
And unnecessary utility usage.
stay down.
Traveling.
I mean, this is something that we cannot miss. But listen, whenever you're dashing on top of the yellow, basically always use the smoke as a cover from other angles. Like never, you should never dash on the yellow like this. Never. Because you're way too overexposed. You should always use a smoke here, then dash, and then drop down immediately. And then later on, with the updraft ability, we can do this, you know, updraft, crouch, uncrouch, to get up here, to reset our aim immediately, and to fight the enemies that are, you know, backside, here, 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 together with our allies. Or to play the post plant.
Shadows traveling.
But you should never, no matter what is the scenario, you should never dash on top of the yellow without the smoke. You're way too overexposed. Enemies can kill you from a lot of different angles, especially if your teammates are not ready to refrag you and fight with you on every single position. It's just unnecessary. And as I said, like, you know, most of the times there's no reason to go up yellow with a dash. Like you can just use a smoke here and take the yellow with a dash. And then we can use the dash to clear this area of the map as well. And potentially get a kill.
Stay down. Enemy.
Everything up to this point was good. To be honest, that angle clearing on tower was good. Because, you know, when you have the smokes for the CT, the only angle from which enemies can kill you is this and this. That was a good clearing. This fight here was also good. But now, what he does from this moment of time is gonna decide how this round is gonna go. There is no reason to aggress the enemies. There is no reason to fight them at all. There is no reason to do anything. Our job is done. Over. You completed your tasks. You got 2 entry kills, made a true numbers advantage. Now you turtle in, plant the spike with the wingman, and fight together with your teammates. Even if you don't plant the spike, it doesn't fucking matter. In this round, as long as we fight together, we win this round together.
Kill.
One enemy remaining.
Here,
Enemy kill.
when you took this fight, absolutely unnecessary risk. It, you know, taking this fight with a dash ability pre-activated would have been okay. You know, like, whenever you have like a dash ability, yes, you can risk a bit more and maybe go for one tap or a burst fire and then reposition. But taking this fight without the dash ability activated, mega unnecessary. Like, no reason to do it.
One enemy remaining.
3. My ult's ready.
Spike's ticking. Thanks, little man. Trash is ready.
Reloading.
Don't mess with my crew.
Now, one economy tip.
Reloading.
As soon as you build up the Jett's ultimate, you should use that ultimate as a main weapon during that specific round, in order to preserve more economy for your team and to build more ultimates during the match. Like here, our Sage died in the previous round. I would drop my Vandal to the Sage, buy the Heavy Shield, buy the Updraft, buy Sheriff as a secondary weapon, and use Ultimate as a main weapon. Period. Like, if you do that during this round, we're building another Ultimate starting from the next round, and our economy is giga strong. Because we are investing, you know, much less credits moving into this round. Like, you're essentially saving like over, how much is that? 5,000 credits. Like, you're saving 5,000 credits for your team by doing that shit.
Do what we do.
And you know, Jett ultimate on this map is mega broken. Because, you know, the main strength of the Jett ultimate are the medium range and long range gunfights. Because sometimes, you know, you don't even need to go for a headshot. In low elo lobbies, you can just spam 3 bullets into the enemy's body, and you can just finish off the enemies and kill them. You move around, you know, air strafe, glide around in the air, like, you have freedom in your movement, you're mega fast, like, just be done with it.
Get back to chilling.
And in this round, enemies are once again playing an eco halberd round, so that is why in this round, we should be sending it towards the A site. And what we also noticed during this match is that enemies don't have a response to our 5-man executes. Essentially, they are like not countering us at all, and they have no idea how to counter us. As long as this playstyle works for us, I'll be doing the same shit over and over again. Okay. Like, in this round, I would actually micro-correct my teammates a bit. You know? Like, Sage is playing alone. You know? And no reason to do that. Our 5-man pushes were working like a charm. Enemies have no response to our 5-man executes. Why? Why go B? Hey Sage, come play with us. Like, enemies are stupid, let's fuck them up. As long as it works, don't fix it. And, you know, one rule that you should always use in Valorant is, you know, the famous LSD rule. Essentially, if something doesn't work for you once, it's a matter of luck. It doesn't work 2 times. It's a skill issue, so we need to change it a bit. We can do the same shit in a slightly different way. And if that same shit in a slightly different way doesn't work, then in the 4th round, we need to do some major changes to our playstyle and how we play that specific match. And, you know, when you're pushing the A site, there is absolutely no reason for you to move through this A short area of the map. I would avoid this shit as much as I can. No reason. Because this fight doesn't really work in your favor. There's a lot of angles, off angles, from which enemies can surprise you and kill you. Like, you know, enemies can be up there, up here, like, there, like, whatever. No reason to do that. Like, always go through the belt. If you want to go from the lower area of the map, drop down, take the fights. Clear the angles, you know. One by one, one by one, one by one. Move here, check this corner. Move here, check that corner, and then, you know, get ready for the execute. And, you know, the only times when you should go through this A short area of the map is if enemies are way too repetitive here and here. You can force up the operator for an example and just, you know, bop. Bop. Or, you know, with the dash ability and Vandal just counter the enemies and take an instant frag. An instant kill.
Enemy spotted A. My ultimate is ready.
Over on site.
Enemy spotted A.
Here, like, you should have moved a bit more aggressively towards the site. Like, basically, as soon as you have one of your teammates that is here, or here, like your teammates are, let's say, crossing this line. Like, this is the line. You need to move on top of this box. And take the fights with them. Or move on top of this generator. Like, my minimap, my eyes are glued to the minimap as I'm playing Icebox, because your pathing, positioning, executes fully depend on where your teammates are at that moment of time, so that you're able to refrag them. Like, if I was here and my Reyna was there, I would instantly do this, check that, check the tower, and now, you know, fight with my Reyna. I can fight the enemies. CT, fight the enemies from this box, check back of the box there as well, and that's it. And as you're moving in, what you can also do is, like, maybe you can do a one-way smoke here, if you don't want to be overexposed too much. Like, you can do this, check that, you know, methodical, one step at a time. And all of this should be engraved within your gameplay on Icebox.
Over on site.
Enemy spotted A.
Very good that we drop down here. Like, literally, you know, literally, like, you know, staying up there alone is no bueno. After that kill, very good repositioning. And remember one more thing. Like, whenever you have a teammate that is flanking or lurking behind the enemies, such as this Sage that we have right now, your job is not to fight enemies anymore. Your job is just to wait for this guy to do something and apply enough pressure onto the enemies so that they are distracted while this guy is doing his job. Whenever you have teammates that are lurking and flanking, that is your main priority. Just distracting the enemies, staying alive, and trying to see what this guy is gonna do. Like, here, there's no more reason to fight. We play passively. We maybe jump spot the enemies, maybe like jiggle peek them a bit, like, but don't commit to the fight too much.
Guess no earthquake.
Someone's there.
Blocking sight.
This rotation here was really stupid, man. I mean, I don't know. I think that your map awareness is, like, really, really low, man. Like, in this scenario here, like, Killjoy is dead. They don't have a turret on mid. In this elo, most of the times players are not aware when it comes to lurking and flanking. Like, they have no idea about the timings. We should have used our Sage here to fight the enemies, because right now the Sage can pick some kind of a 1v1 fight, maybe lose it, and that's gonna leave us in a 2 versus 3 scenario while we're moving towards the B site. Use these opportunities. Like, you know, you consistently want to adapt yourself based on what type of a scenario your teammates and enemies put you in. Whenever you have a teammate that is lurking, flanking, and taking space like this, like, you should abuse that teammate and use him in your advantage.
Blocking sight. Enemy spotted A. Right. Enemy spotted A.
Also, one more thing that we could have noticed, based on the first 4 rounds that we played, first 5, is that enemies are doing mega fast rotations. So, like, whenever you notice that enemies are rotating really fast, what you can always try is, like, you know, faking the bomb sites a bit more. Like, in the next round, I would definitely call for some kind of a fake on either A and B, and then push the opposite part of the map with the rest of my team. And when you're faking, always be with a group of allies that is not faking, that is actually carrying the spike. And who should fake? I mean, usually your initiator and your most useless teammate in that specific match. A sentinel or a secondary duelist, like something like that. And of course, you know, your controller should give your team as a smoke on that opposite part of the map. At least one smoke.
Right there.
And here, like, we have another problem is, like, I mean, we didn't really see Phoenix on A site. Nobody saw the Phoenix this whole round. If you don't have information about the enemies, and you're doing some kind of a rotation from position 1 to position 2, you should clear all of the possible angles where that enemy can be. Basically, you know, one rule in Valorant that you want to follow is if you lose information on some position for more than 3 seconds, you should clear that position as if enemies can be there. Like, you need to do that. Yo, Fat Goat! Thank you for the Prime Gaming Summon and thank you for scamming Jeff L. Bezos.
Spike planted. Thanks, Wings.
But I take the point when we have ult, I have no idea. And here, like, you know, how they're playing this post plant is really, really bad, man. I don't know why he's holding this type of a one and done angle. Like, we know that both enemies are coming through the site. We have Gecko alive with the ultimate and a flash and wingman. Like, why are you taking a 50-50 duel instead of a 70-30 fight? Like, right now, you know, if I'm in this 2v2 and I know that both of the enemies are on the site, fuck it. You know, I can hold this. Gecko holds the cross here. And that's it. You know, whoever takes the first fight, we can fight together and fight safe. Or, if I'm playing yellow already, I'm just gonna hold. Jiggle peek this angle, or hold it this angle like this. Go for a one-tap or a burst fire, and then take a better fight. Maybe fake the enemies that I'm crossing, you know, then surprise them from this angle again. Wait for the Gecko to fight together. Don't fight alone, man. This round is really important because this round is a mental breaker for the enemy team. Like, if you win this round, attacker side is over.
One enemy remaining.
That second fight was okay because, anyways, he has a dash ability. You know, whenever you have a dash ability, you can risk it a bit more with a Jett. But you should never commit to the fight too much. Like, essentially, you should look towards this piece of utility as a tool to take the space, get the information for yourself and your team, and take a basically safe fight. Where you only commit to one bullet, one burst fire, you know, or maximum 2 burst fires. And then you go out. Every single time when you die, while you still have the dash ability, is the moment of time where you could have done something better.
Sorry, pretty boy.
As I said, like, you know, basically enemies are rotating really fast. When you notice that enemies are rotating that fast, like, just call for the fake and then be done with it. Also, like, on Icebox, when you notice that enemy Sova has the ultimate, in this elo, probably a bit better idea is to push the A site, because Sova can mow you down with his ultimate in the B main area of the map. Like, in the ranks between Iron 1 and Ascendant 1, or even up to Immortal, if I see that enemy Sova has the ultimate, I'm either splitting B, or I'm basically just doing a 5-man push on calling for a 5-man push on A side. Because here, only God knows if our teammates are gonna dodge his ultimate, what they're gonna do, how they're gonna play around it. Like, it's just way too frisky, brother. Way too frisky. Way too risky. Okay. Sorry guys, I'm answering some messages.
Cover going out. Shadows traveling.
I don't know, here we got lucky a bit, man. Like, if I was that Sova, oh man, like, I am bursting your anal cavities with that ultimate. Like, he revealed 3 of them in the B main, stuck together. I really don't know why he didn't take some free kills there. Like, essentially, you know, when you're making your decisions on both attackers and defender side, like, one of the main things that you're tracking is, like, your teammate's ultimate status, enemy's ultimate status, your abilities, enemy's abilities, and which map you're playing and, you know, what works for you. Like, it was just mega risky to push this B side in this round. And I really don't think that there's a reason for Sage to lurk him flank. You know, once again, I will tell my Sage to play together. Like, in this round, we should either fake a push onto some site or just play together. Both of these things should work. This is not how you clear the B main area of the map. You need to be a bit faster, and you need to replicate what I showcased you at the start of this VOD review. Okay. Okay. That was a good killjoy setup. Not bad. Not bad. Like, it's okay. Like, in this round, we got outplayed a bit. But another thing is, like, I feel that, you know, you're dashing way too early towards the yellow box, where your teammates are not able to support you at all. And most of the times, like, I don't know why you're activating the dash ability so early when you're pushing through the B main area of the map. Like, I'm never gonna activate the dash ability in this area of the map if enemies are not fighting me aggressively, or if I'm not taking a duel. You know, the moment of time when I activate the dash ability is basically when I clear all of these angles, like here. And now, I have a dash ability to do this, to move back yellow, take this fight for an example, or go back, like, maybe go for some aggressive play, you know, clearing the yellow like this. Then I can kill that enemy, focus on sight if you have the proper smokes, obviously, you know, the Viper wall and Omen smokes. Like, you're just activating your dash ability way too early for the B execute, which is not allowing you to have higher adaptiveness during the round. Okay, from now on, if you're pushing onto the B side, like, you know, we need to be aware of that killjoy setup. And anyways, in this round, we made a horrible mistake. As I said, whenever enemies are playing an eco, halbay, or a bonus round, like 3, 4, or 5 enemies have less than 3,800 credits, send it to A. In this elo, no reason to complicate things, no reason to do anything on B, no reason to do anything on mid. Send it A. Trust me, you will win more rounds by simplifying your gameplay and basing your gameplay on specific rules and what makes more sense than statistics rather than just randomly doing stuff. Okay, in this round, we just need to be aware that enemy killjoy has the ultimate. So when we are planting the spike, we need to plant it open, where we can hold it from the belt and aim an area of the map. That's one information that I will give to my teammates. And the second information would be you know, if they plant the spike already safe, we need to fight more aggressive for the screen's control. Now, we're using ultimate in this round. Okay, good. But I will still request a secondary weapon from my teammates. You know, I would request at least a sheriff from the get-go. Like on this map, you know, the best secondary weapon is sheriff. On bind, I would prefer to have a Bucky or Shorty or Stinger, you know, for an example. So if you miss all 5 of your shots from all 5 daggers, you still have a sheriff to, you know, continue the fight with the enemies, and not a stupid classic pistol.
Watch this.
We talked about this. Ooh, that was mega fucking risky. Listen, man. Don't do this updraft, bro. Like on the A side, if you don't have a 100% information where are all of the enemies, you don't need to. Why would you do this updraft? Like you're airborne here, enemies can kill you from backside, from that position, from the CT, from the screens. Fuck it, bro. Like, you know, I have the ultimate. My teammates are moving in. Let's do this. Get up here. They want to move in. No problem. I'm moving in with the dash ability, killing this guy, taking this fight, dashing here to take some long-range duels against the enemies. I mean, I don't wanna stay up here. I wanna take this fight. I wanna take this fight. I wanna take this fight. And then once we plant the spike, we can clear the backside and then get ready for the post plant. But using the updraft, you know, here or updraft here, just unnecessary. You know, like you're putting yourself in a situation where you can die and your teammates are not able to refrag you. Even with the dash ability, like, I mean, how are you gonna clear all of this area of the map?
It's you and me.
And this is another reason why we should have kept the sheriff with ourselves, at least. Because right now, we're fucked. I mean, listen. When you're taking the ISO duel with only a classic pistol, your best bet in that duel is to essentially jump spot immediately the middle of the ultimate, try to triple click the ISO shield, and then before the barrier goes down, move towards the ISO as soon as possible. Otherwise, we're losing this duel.
Our spike carrier is killed.
Spike down A.
It is what it is. Okay. Now, once again, we're making a map mistake. And macro mistake. Why would I push onto the B side? Enemies are equal hull by. Our A pushes are working. Enemies are not stopping us. They're not changing their playstyle, their gameplay. Like, why would I go B? And also, you know, when you have the Jett ultimate, it's a bit better if you move from the belt. Because from the belt, you can always take some cheesy long-range duel, you know, with the updraft, like, with the dash ability, like, for an example, you know. You can always surprise the enemies. Like, for an example, we can do this. You know, with the dash ability, try to kill the enemies. Like, we can go for this. Snipe the enemies down. I don't know why would you move, like, through the pipes with the ultimate.
Dizzy's up. Right there.
Cover going out.
Once again, you're moving
Dizzy's up.
way too, like, listen, just from now on, apply what I taught you in the second, third round of attacker side. The first round, actually. I'm moving the way that we talked about. Will the map rotation change this sect? No. the map rotation is changing in episode 3, act 3.
Under spike.
That's a spike, wait. Saw you, Mosh!
Feeling sight.
Dizzy's up top.
Feeling sight.
And listen, the best opportunity and the best moment of time for you to do this
Blocking sight.
or to do this is when you have 100% information that one enemy is playing at a yellow. And as your teammates are fighting that enemy, we pinch that enemy from 2 different positions, from there and here, or from there and there. That guy cannot kill us both. That's an easy refrag. We have the smokes to cover us up from the enemies on site, and then we can just focus on the enemies on site, or maybe, you know, get the fuck away. Move back towards the yellow, plant the spike. We can use this type of updraft, play on the edge, take another fight, drop down, that's it.
Feeling sight.
When you knew that one guy is there, that's what you should do with the Jett. Like that is the best moment of time for you to go on top of the yellow box.
Dizzy's up top.
Or to dash towards that position, that suicide area of the map.
Feeling sight. Under spike.
That's a spike, wings.
Reload.
Stay down.
One.
Listen, man, like, I don't know if you're gonna do that right now or not, but whenever you get flashed, stunned, or something bad happens for you when you're playing Jett, your instant reaction should be smoking yourself off. Until the duration of that stun or whatever actually expires.
Enemy remaining.
Okay, he actually died. I mean, he should have done the smoke. What is the enemy's economy? How they have money to buy in the last round? I mean, they play some kind of a hull buy, like, I guess. Okay. Let's see how this push is gonna go.
Up you go. Mosh pit.
Shadows traveling. Cover going out.
Reloading.
Listen, avoid fighting from the lower ground. Always go from the nest, from the belt, and from the pipes. Like, when you go from the lower ground, like, your vision gets blocked by the stupid Viper wall. You might get molotoved, naded. We're just cluttering this position 24/7. Most of the times, your teammates are not gonna have the balls to do this, or to do this, or to do this. Since you have a dash ability, you're already playing Jett. That's your primary task.
Enemy A.
Okay. 80 underneath though.
Spike
Enemy
down
kill.
A. Last player standing.
I feel that, you know, a lot of the fights that you take, you're not ready for these fights, like, in terms of your crosshair placement, movement, mentally and physically. Like, you just wing them. You know, like, at least 3 fights during this match you took while your gun was not out in your hands. Get ready for a fight. You know, surprise the enemies with some random peak, random moment of time to swing out, like, I don't know, but only when you're ready. Like, you're not ready for some of these fights. I mean, there's a fix for that problem as well, like, we're gonna, like, talk about that, like, through private messages later, but it's just stupid to die in this type of way. Especially as a Jett player, man, like, you know, with the smokes, with the dash ability, like, you can always take some kind of a fight that works in your favor. Like, for example, here. Killjoy is there. No problem. Let's use a smoke. Let's use the updraft to fake our position. Let's pressure that killjoy. Let's play with her mind. Make her think that we're going left. You know. And also, please, like, when your teammates are going from the belt, you need to be ready to refrag them. Like, essentially, you know, you need to follow up your most aggressive teammate on the belt and really stick to his butthole. Like, the distance between you and your most aggressive teammate on belt cannot be more than 4 or 5 meters. Like, you need to mimic their movement if you're not the one going first with the dash ability or swinging the enemies yourself. Yeah. Yeah, what a slow orb. Actually, that was a goated slow orb, man. Reaction time of a potato. This is the elo in which we're playing right now. You know? And I think that you're at least 40% better than these players. You know what to do. We did a tracker review. You know what is your main mistake. Don't worry. I'll give you some kind of a training, like... Well, actually, training is not that important for you, to be honest. Like, what is more important is, like, changing your mindset. How you actually play the rounds. How you play the maps. How you adapt to different type of teammates. Here, once again, like, I mean, we're going way too much A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Enemies are playing an eco halberd round. Why the fuck are we pushing B again? Against the Viper with the ultimate Phoenix, ultimate Killjoy, like, what the fuck?
Up and away.
Cover going out.
Blow him up, Mosh. Sit down.
Also, I've noticed, like, when you're using a dash ability, you're never taking information with that dash ability. I mean, this is that's a Jett 101 rule. You're dashing somewhere, you should be flicking right, left, getting information for your team and for your crosshair placement. I mean, like, if you're dashing here without a smoke, you just need to flick right. Get this info for yourself and your teammates as well. Because once I clear this, when my teammates are picking up the fight, I'm ready for that fight. Peeker's advantage, proper crosshair placement, enemies are dead. And I feel that when you're pushing the B side, you take some of the initial fights for no reason. Especially once you make a numbers advantage, like, you don't need to play this aggressively, man. Like, after your Gecko took a kill on that Killjoy, why do you need to pick the back yellow? Or why you need to peek it, dry peek it? Wait a bit. You know, wait for your teammates to connect with you. Go a bit slower. You know, on Icebox, it really doesn't matter how fast you push something. Or how much space you take in a certain period of time. Slow down your gameplay based on how fast your teammates are moving. And play with them. Here, no reason for you to swing this alone. Wait for the Omen for Reyna to connect with you. Pay attention to the minimap. Fight together with them. You'll win this round. 100%. If we stay alive.
Welcome to my world. Right there.
For you.
Shot my wingman.
Joke's over!
And listen, on Icebox, whenever you don't have a sentinel to watch for your flank and lurks, and, you know, all of your teammates are focused towards the A side, towards the B side, you should hold the flank and lurk. Like, you know, if you don't have the information about all of the enemies, like, you need to do that. But still, when you're holding this flank and lurk, you should not play way too separated from your teammates. You know, like, for an example, if all of my teammates are here, I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna hold this angle. And just from this position, hold for the enemy's potential flank and lurk. And I'm still able to reframe my teammates if they're actually taking the fights on the side.
Shadows traveling.
Viper's behind the box.
And this is one of many reasons why, you know, when you're playing any agent in Valorant, you should always carry the shorty with yourself. Like right here, if the Viper goes for another spike tap, and I waste all of my Vandal bullets, fuck it, man. I'm pulling out the shorty, moving in aggressively. And also spamming this smoke this close was mega dangerous because enemies can peek us left, right, you know, fuck us up based on timing. But there was, listen, on Icebox, especially if your A executes are working, just go A. Like in this match, you could have pushed A side 12 rounds in a row. It would have been far more unpredictable and better for you. Playing postmans on A side is so easy. Especially if you're playing the spike for the belt and for the aim in area of the map. Much easier than playing the postmans on B side.
Shadows traveling.
I really don't like how he pushed this aim in area of the map. Like, I mean, literally, you know, if you're pushing this with a close range weapon, you need to jiggle peek this angle and then move in. Or jump spot this angle and then move in. Or simply drop down and then move like this. How is pushing 12 rounds A unpredictable? Because who the fuck is gonna expect that? Let's say, for example, you lose 3 rounds on A in a row. Who the fuck is gonna expect that you have the confidence to push the 4th round on A? Or you win, like, I don't know. You win 4 rounds in a row on A side. Enemies are gonna start flaming each other. Hey guys, how the fuck you cannot defend A side, you fucking elo pieces of shit? You know?
Cover going out.
Valorant is a heavy mental game as well. And you always need to take that factor as well when you're deciding what to push, what to do. Like, it's a gambling game of numbers. It's like a chess, essentially. And that's how you play Valorant.
Dizzy's up. It's you and me.
Now, personally, you know, if I had a Spectre in the ISO ultimate, like, I wouldn't pick that ISO in a long-range fight. Let's say this is the ISO wall that is in front of me. This is his wall. Like, what I would do, I would just move sideways and immediately try to close the gap with him. Because if ISO moves away from the wall, and he has a Vandal or Phantom, and you have a Spectre, I mean, your chances of killing that ISO is, like, very fucking low with a Spectre. In this match, just this ISO is, you know, terrible. I mean, his name is can't hit those, so he is living up to his name. And, you know, in this round, I would just call for a 20 seconds rule. Let's cut the noise for 20 seconds and let's re-hit the A site. No reason to complicate the round. No reason to go B. Like, that is far more unpredictable than rotating on B right now. Here, we just cut the noise for 20 seconds. I mean, if our teammates don't want to cut the noise, just move the fuck in.
Wingman's planting.
You thought you were safe. Cover going out.
No sweat. Spike planted. Thanks, Wings.
120 on Killjoy.
Okay, listen. when you're playing this specific position in a postman on A side, like that is a good postman position, and I play it quite a lot. But you never play exactly on top of the site. You never play here, like this. You always play around this box and on this position. So when your teammates are picking a fight, or you want to surprise the enemies, you can jiggle peek them. You can peek them from here. You can kill this guy here without you being exposed from the screens. Like this is your, you know, this and this is the primary spot that you play to surprise the enemies and kill them. Not here. You know, you don't want to play here. Because here, you know, if enemies peek you from here, they might see your head, bop, 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 they delete you. And angle perception advantage is not working in your favor. You're in an angle perception disadvantage. And this spot is good to play, you know, when your teammates are playing around the 410 generator here. Like basically, you don't have anyone that is across
Here.
this line at the backside.
Raptor.
Blocking sight.
I don't know why you moved down here. Like, I would have committed to playing that spot. We have the wall for the backside. We can support the Reyna at any moment of time. We can hold this off angle for the rafters to surprise the enemies there. Reyna is picking up the fight. Bam. We can instantly pick a fight. Kill this guy. That's how we should have played this post plant.
One enemy remaining.
Okay. Okay. When does Abyss playbook for Omen comes? I'm gonna do the Abyss guides for Jett and Omen in the following 2 weeks. In around 2 weeks from now, you're gonna have the playbooks for Omen and Jett and Abyss. Like during September, like this is my plan. I need to finish all of the VOD reviews, or all of the tier 3 sub VOD reviews. Once I finish all of the tier 3 sub VOD reviews, we have like 3 or 4 more of them. Then we're gonna do like Abyss guides for Jett and Omen. And during September, I need to finish all of the general guides for Chamber, Yoru, and Race. And then during October, I'm gonna finish the Chamber first. During November, I'm gonna finish the Race. And during December, I'm gonna finish the Yoru. I have made a decision that I'm not gonna do any unranked to Radiant series until January. Because I wanna slow things down a bit, I wanna catch up with all of the content. I wanna finish the Yoru series, the Race series, and Chamber series on YouTube. I don't wanna rush things out. I wanna just, I wanna catch up with all of the latency that I have. And then I can start the next year fully fresh, and get into some actual Godspeed mode. You got an ISO guide? No, I don't know. I never did anything on ISO.
Up you go.
Shadows traveling.
Enemy
Shadows
B.
traveling.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Thrash is ready. Right there.
Same problem like as you had in every single round where you push the B side. Like you are dashing in way too early. Like even if this dash ability expires, who the fuck cares? It's Icebox anyways. We killed the enemy killjoy. We killed the only sentinel that is guarding B side. Why are you forcing yourself to fight so much? Chill a bit. Wait for your teammates, to start crossing this line, then move in, or move in with a smoke here, and then you have a dash ability to fight that ISO, and to reposition for another fight.
Gotcha. Thrash is ready. Right there.
Like it was mega unnecessary to take that, solo fight.
Cool. My ult's ready.
Light sticky. Thanks, little man.
Wall raised. Reloading.
One enemy remaining.
Okay, nice kill there. Well, okay, it's 5 versus 1. Like, I mean, we're just gonna Fuck this Phoenix up.
Aw, thought you'd try hard.
Okay. Okay.
Aw, thought you'd try harder.
Okay.
Side.
Okay. I mean, he did say that he has more problems on I mean, this player, this guy or girl, has more problems on defense than on attack. So now what he does on the defender side is gonna be far more important than what he did on the attack. So let's dive onto the defender side. Okay, now we're moving on a defender side of Icebox, and you know, I need to give you a bit of a TLDR. You know, how to play defense of Icebox. A site, your #1 priority. B site, #2 priority, and mid, #3 priority. Essentially, like the first round, you should always play on the A site and gamble on A because it's a bit harder bomb site to be retaked. And you know, in the first round, a lot of the players in Valorant like to push A site. Mid area of the map, you should only play as a fast rotation tool. You know, like if you're not really certain whether or not enemies are gonna end up on A or B, you play mid. And whenever enemies are equal or hull by, you can gamble a bit more towards this area of the map, because when enemies are equal and hull by on the attacker side, chances are much higher that they're gonna attack mid and B rather than A. Essentially that, you know, a lot of the players love to lurk flank during those rounds and you want to punish those enemies. And that's how, in theory, you play defender side of Icebox, but now let's see like what you're doing and what's happening during your match. The first round, we always play and gamble on the A site. To be honest, like in low elo and medium elo, the strategy that I would run the most, even though in my ranked playbook on my Discord server I explained like 10 different strategies how to play the first round of Icebox with Jett, but my ultimately favorite strategy is purchasing a ghost with a smoke or a sheriff, starting my round behind the tower position, right here like on top of the tower, and waiting for the perfect moment of time to strike. Because if you stay hidden on this position while the enemies are pushing into the bomb site, enemies completely are gonna forget a possibility, that there is even a possibility that someone can be on top of a tower. And you need to pick a right moment of time to strike, essentially, and to delete one or two of your enemies. Like, remember that your job in the first round on a defender side of any map is not really to stop the enemy's push, but rather your job is to, you know, make a numbers advantage and then play retake together with your allies with that numbers advantage. Now, what is the perfect opportunity to strike? Enemies are taking the ropes, we can activate a dash ability and kill that enemy on the ropes. Enemies are here, kill that guy. Enemies are here, kill that guy. Or your teammates are fighting enemies aggressively. You know, if enemies are distracted, peek them, kill them, get away with a kill. Like, this works 80 to 90% of the times. You will end up with at least one kill in your pocket if you don't miss your shots, of course. Maybe for this strategy, the ultimate choice is actually classic and smoke, because then you'll have opportunity to fight more enemies, spam more bullets, and also that smoke will come in handy when it comes to the retake of the B side. In the first round on Icebox, there is really no reason to aggress the enemies in the A main area of the map. Essentially, in the first 4 rounds on any map in Valorant, I will always play a bit more passively on defense. And if the passive gameplay is working, I'm just gonna continue playing passively. But if you see an opportunity to fuck up the enemies somewhere, or that enemies are not using a proper utility to take the main space control, then we should fight a bit more aggressively and try to contest the enemies and try to get a kill. I mean, with the Jett, there's a lot of great off angles, a lot of great aggressive plays that we can use to kill the enemies and to basically, you know, surprise them with a dash ability, like aggress them in the pipes, aggress them here, like as long as you have a dash ability, every single fight is you know, a safe fight for you. And just remember a rule where whenever enemies are equal or hull by, you want to start either aggressively in the window, watching the mid and playing a fast rotation towards B, or around the boiler to play a fast rotation towards A site. Like mid area of the map, I just use as a tool to fast rotate when I'm not certain where the enemies are gonna go, and as a tool to, if I see that I can get an easy pick onto the enemies if I get the op or something like that. And of course, when you're playing Jett, I highly recommend you to focus your economy around getting the operator. I mean, on this map, abusing the operator is very easy, and it should be one of your primary weapons to, you know, get the numbers advantage for your team. So, let's see what our friend is doing. I'm gonna turn off my camera again because this video is not going on my main YouTube channel anyways. Like, this is something that there's no way I would do in the first round. First of all, we don't want to showcase the enemies, that we love to aggress them. You know, let them think that we love to play passively in the first round. And second of all, I will never leave the fate of the A site in the hands of my ranked solo queue teammates in the first round. Even if Homer is playing alone, you know, I would just like you know, play alone, let him play alone there. Now, this push here was mega unnecessary, and I would never do this in the first round. Like, even if I started in the kitchen in this first round, okay, like on Icebox, you always need to keep in mind that there might be an enemy lurking through mid. If you don't have some kind of a Sentinels utility or some recon utility to reveal the enemies on mid, like you don't have a Sage wall to cover the mid push and stuff like that. But that is the information that you track as you're supporting your teammates on the site. Like in this round, if I heard enemies pushing B, I would instantly rotate towards my Omen to support him. I will be aware that one enemy might lurk through mid, and I'll consistently keep myself hidden from the mid area of the map. And as long as I don't see all of the enemies on the minimap, or all of the enemies pushing the B site, I will pre-assume that one enemy can be in the kitchen, or bottom mid, or mid, in the tube. But your highest priority in this round should not have been to push mid alone, which is already a very risky move. Like, there's no reason to fight alone in this first round. But your main priority should have been to use your Omen to potentially stop the enemy's push on B side. And to be honest, like, if you already want to push mid, you know, in the first round, I just recommend you to go with a smoke and ghost, because ghost will allow you to fight both medium range, close range, and long range gunfights, and also, you know, that smoke will come in handy for the potential retakes. Now, if you lose the first round of Icebox, in the second round, what I will recommend you is just to gamble on A site, because it really doesn't make sense on Icebox like pushing B site or mid against enemies that are eco. And that is why I play the second round on A. And in this second round, I just recommend you classic shorty, bait the enemies to come towards you. Like, don't commit to the fight, just get this information, you know. And then as the enemies are pushing, pick up the shorty, jiggle pick them here, and when they're close to you, bop bop, take the kill onto an enemy. Like, your job in eco rounds is not to stay alive or to win that round. Your job is to trade yourself for as many kills as possible, building your ultimate, damaging the enemy's economy, preserving your own economy, and potentially giving your teammates higher chances of winning that round. Shorty is a great weapon for that. And if the enemies push B, fuck it, just pick up the classic pistol or stay with the shorty and go for some kamikaze play on the B site. And if I decided to play this round on B for some reason, once again, I will go with a classic shorty. Like, I will play as a shorty here, like this, bait the enemies to come towards me with a classic, you know, destroy their recon utility and stuff like that, pick up the shorty, and when enemies are close, I'll go for a kamikaze play and try to kill 1 or 2 enemies in the process. That is how you need to play eco rounds. Like, you always need to find some cheesy strategies to trade yourself for the kills. And as I said, like in eco rounds, your KD should be at least 1 with a Jett. Like, if you play that strategy right now, Classic shorty. You're good for 1 kill 9 out of 10 times. In this area of the map, especially against the enemies that are not using a recon dart or drone to clear the B main, brother, easiest kills for you. What the hell happened with that Phoenix Molotov down there? That was so weird. That threw me off, man. Ah! Okay. Okay, very good kills. Very good kills. Even if you lose this round, it doesn't matter, to be honest. Okay. Okay. I mean, okay. This is absolutely fine. Like, to be honest, we killed all 5 enemies. We shit on their economy. Let me see the enemy's economy. Okay, I mean, 3 enemies are like basically playing a half by round. Okay, not bad, not bad.
B again.
Listen, when, like, personally, I would never, like, listen here. So, one very important rule. Whenever enemies are eco or half by or bonus on attack, don't aggress them and play in a default way. So, you don't want to showcase the enemies. You don't want to showcase the enemies your best strats and tactics. You want to abuse gun advantage and refrag potential in order to win that specific round. Only if it is absolutely necessary for you to aggress the enemies for some reason, you should do that. But here, isolating the fights against the enemies that are playing a bonus round, this is just stupid. Like in this round, first of all, I would not play B side. In this round, once again, I will play around the mid area of the map and play a fast rotation towards B. And I will tell my Omen to play B. Why are you feeling the positions? Your teammates should be doing that. Like, you're playing Jett. You should have all of the freedom in this world to position yourself wherever the fuck you want. Like here, you know. But if I was, theoretically speaking, playing B, what I would do, I would simply hold basically this angle, narrow down this angle for the information, hold this position. If I see the enemies pushing, I'll activate the dash ability, fight them a bit, and get the fuck out. And just play retake with my allies. I'll probably tuck in into the CT, play from the snowman, try to get a kill onto this enemy, spam the plant spot a bit, and try to kill an enemy that is planting the spike. Right here, and that's it. This is way too much of an unnecessary risk based on which round enemies are playing. Like, whenever enemies are equal or halberd on attacker's side, you should play the most boring Valorant possible and focus only on team play. And also, one thing that we noticed is that enemies really like to use the mid area of the map to lurk and flank. So we really consistently need to have someone in mid to basically, like, you know, guard that area of the map and give us the information there.
Spike down B.
Here, Killjoy is probably mid. Like, right now, I would not even come to check the mid area of the map. Like, I would just be holding bottom mid and asking my teammates to check the kitchen for me. And right now, why are you going so far back? I know we need a heal. I know we are 14 HP. But look what's happening. Your Omen is fighting aggressively. Like, nothing matters right now if Omen dies. I mean, of course, we're still going to have a true numbers advantage and potentially win this round. But it's way too risky for you to go all the way towards the Sage and ask for the heal. Because enemy Killjoy might be on mid. Enemies need to spit on you and you're dead. And right now, I would just tuck myself into the CT, try to support my Omen a bit, tell the Reyna to clear the kitchen, and that's it. And listen, on Icebox, whenever you're peeking the enemies under the tube, always avoid this type of a peek, because you're in a huge angle perception disadvantage. This tube is much closer to you compared to the enemies. Like, enemies always see you before you see them. Also, you don't see this position, and you don't see this position properly. You don't see this position properly as well. And those are all of the spots that I like using when I fight the enemies. If you want to check the mid from this side or peek the enemies, do this first, and then with the dash ability, engage the enemies from the left side. Like, bottom of the tube, you should always be peeking from left to right, not from right to left. And taking this fight was something that I would never do. Like, if I wanted to get a heal from the Sage, I would just cross this area of the map with a smoke, check if someone is in the tube, and play passively and safe. Tube! Ah! Okay, somebody could have been there. Okay, we have 100 HP. We should not peek the enemies. I mean, we should have checked the tube here. Like, I mean, we lost huge timing in that in kitchen area of the map. Like, there was a moment of time when no one was guarding the kitchen for 3, 4, or 5 seconds, and enemies could have crossed here. I would have checked this and then go for a rotation onto the A site.
Goes away still. It's like
It's just on the other side of my wall. One enemy remaining.
Okay.
They were not
Okay. Remember, guys, that, you know, the most important rounds for you in Valorant are the anti-eco, anti-bonus, and pistol rounds. Like, during these rounds, you should have, like, at least 80% win rate. And you need to follow some very strict rules if you want to have a high success rate winning them. Like, valuing your life, valuing the team play, you know, playing a bit more safe, like... yeah, we could have won this round even if we just played together with our Omen and just fucked up the enemies together. Now, in this round, personally, I would just apply the rule of fear, and I would play on the A site. Why? Because we demolished the enemies on the B side in that last round. And most of the times when you demolish the enemies like this, in ranked solo queue, they won't have the success to push you on that same bomb set again. I mean, no one can guarantee you that, but that is what happens at least 70% of the times in Valorant. Like 70% of the times minimum. And also with Jett, you know, when you're holding the B-main area of the map, like, it can be a bit more interesting, you know, like, this spot here, we can abuse in 3 different ways. We can play it like this, you know, just hold the tight angle there, only focus on the enemies here. We're getting that information, this information. We're trying to kill the enemies there, and we're placing our eyes in the middle of these 2 angles. If enemies peek me there, I'm trying to kill them. If enemies peek me there, I'm gonna reset myself, activate the dash ability, kill the enemies. Then, in some of the rounds, we can just hold the swing of the enemies, try to kill them without the dash ability, and, you know, depending where the enemies peek us and what type of a fight we fight, we can always reposition ourselves and play safer. Then, we can take this angle to kill the enemies only coming through garage, and then peek the enemies here with a dash ability. We can hide from the enemy's recon utility, and as soon as the recon utility is about to hit us, I mean the solar drone to expose us, we can activate the dash ability and surprise the enemies from this spot. Then, you know, we can go all the way here with the dash ability, take a bit more aggressive fight, try to kill that guy. Then we can hold this angle, try to kill the enemies pushing here and here. This is a really good angle to hold. Then activate the dash ability, take another fight, try to escape. Like, I don't know why he's playing back of the yellow and this passively, like, in this specific round. Like, this is the round where you want to aggress the enemies a bit more. But I guess that also works.
I mean,
I really hope that we're aware that enemies might be, like, mid. Like, here he needs to shift. Like, we don't know where the fuck is the Killjoy. You know, Killjoy can be at mid. Like, right now, I would shift all the way until I clear the mid area of the map. I would go here, shift, check here, check the tube, check the box, then check this area of the map, and then I will start running. Hey, that Killjoy was very persistent and very consistent in lurking. Like, you need to read those type of plays, especially when the enemies are way too repetitive. And I mean, at the end of the day, he should have played Ace in this round. Also, if the Sage is the only sentinel that you have on Icebox, that Sage should be doing this wall or this wall 24/7. Like, fuck the wall on Ace. That wall is useless. Like, blocking the mid push for 40 seconds is far more important, and stalling the enemy's push there. I don't know why Sage is playing A. Hello, we made too many footsteps here. God help us.
What is that? Viper's in the corner right here.
spike planted.
Nice kill. Nice kill, nice kill. This is like, you know, after that kill, he needed to change his pathing onto this side. I mean, pushing like this in the Viper ultimate is fucked up. Because Viper has a much better vision than you in the ultimate. After he got that kill, he should have wrapped the enemies from the right side and tried to clear, you know, this part of the ultimate, tower, pipes, and then enter the ultimate from this position here. Because, I don't know, man, that is way too risky. To be honest, I don't know why would the Viper and Killjoy even play on the site. I mean, with the mollies, they can just stall the defuse of the spike for days.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
That was way too dangerous. Entering the Viper ultimate in that way. Like, you always want to enter the Viper, you know, if Viper is already not in this part of the ultimate, so basically he had some kind of an ultimate like this. If Viper is already not in this part of the ultimate, like, she is probably either on top of the site, if the site is, you know, blocked, or in this portion right here. And I cannot enter through this part because of that vision problem. Like, she has much higher advantage in that case scenario. To be honest, here I wouldn't buy any secondary weapon with ultimate, because on this map, really, you know, getting the operator in the round number 4 or round number 5 is one of your main priorities.
What's the
Okay, a lot.
And listen here. Rule of fear and ABAB rules. Like, those are the two main rules that you should follow to read the enemies in Valorant. Now, on Icebox, if you already want to play like brainless and position yourself somewhere randomly, it is much better if you're positioning yourself and defending the A site. Because A site retakes are 10 times, not 10 times, but 2 times harder than B site retakes, depending where the enemies plant the spike. You know, like, if enemies plant the spike here, it's hell of a time going for that retake. B site is kind of easy to clear. You know, enemies usually will play around the yellow in the B main area of the map we can clear all of these angles very methodically, one by one. We're not too overexposed, like, they don't have that many options. But the A side, like, I would much rather play the retake of B.
You should run.
And also, one more tip, like, I didn't pay attention, to be fair. When enemies have the Killjoy ultimate, on the attacker side of Icebox, 80% of times, that's gonna be the A push. And we need to play a bit more aggressively towards the A main area of the map, or try to punish the enemies as they're moving in. Like, this ultimate is mega common, and that ultimate can tell you what is their next move. That's a good kill.
66 goes away.
To be honest, here, like, this is one rare moment. Sorry, guys, I'm too tired. Like, this is one of the rare moments of time where I would actually go for a fast flank and fast lurk. Why? Because two of my teammates are already playing together. They have Killjoy, Sova, and Viper. I mean, if they plant the spike open, we are fucked. 2 shock darts, 1 Molotov, 2 nanoswarms. Like, retaking the spike, retaking the site against this team composition, not gonna end up good, man. Unless they make a lot of mistakes.
Spike planted.
Good activation of dash ability.
Dizzy's up. Someone's there.
Give me those back.
Yeah.
Enemy spotted A.
Yeah, basically here we need to aggress them. Like, we need to, like, right now I would go on the pipes. You know what I would do in this scenario? I would go on the pipes, clear this part of the belt, then from this position try to clear the jail. Maybe, you know, drop down, clear this, clear the tower, clear this position. Like, we need to aggress them.
Shot my wingman.
One enemy remaining.
3.
Okay, okay. I mean, he did do that. He did do that. Just how the enemies play this postman was out of my. It's out of my coaching spectrum, you know. Now, as I said, like, whenever enemies are playing equal held by rounds, you should be playing more towards the B side, and you should be starting your rounds, you know, around the kitchen, bottom, mid, or window. You know, one of my favorite things that I like to do is just go for an early aggro peek through the window like this, fully lock down the mid area of the map, and just play this, you know, this off angle. And if enemies are pushing B, okay, fast rotation on B, supporting my Omen. If enemies are silent, and my teammates are denying the enemies push on B and A, I'm just gonna commit to holding the mid. Because in this round, I mean, the enemies were always had somebody that was lurking and flanking, like, that's a free kill. Ooh, playing this angle and being fully exposed from mid. We need to, like, on Icebox, as I said, like, 24/7 you should be afraid that someone can be mid and crossing the mid. Unless you have some really good Sentinels utility. Like here, he either plays more aggressive towards the Omen, or he gets a better angle on the bomb side. But our anal cavity... Behind us, maybe?
There's one A side.
Spike planted.
Could be delayed reaction. Papito, why is your tracker private? It's not private. My tracker is like public. Did you hit Radiant this act? Yeah, I hit it. We got Radiant in this episode as well, man. Back-to-back acts. Next act, like, I might try, like, next act I'm gonna try to get, like, to 1000 rank rating again. We'll see. Next act I'm trying to reach, like, my peak RR. Good cross with the smokes. What? Okay. Okay. This is like, yeah, more of a map awareness problem than anything else, but... Yeah. Yeah. Do you recommend following an aim playlist every day? Yeah. I mean, you should have a consistent warm-up every day. Now, when it comes to aim training, like, for most of the players, like, aim training one time in 3 days is more than enough. Isn't Charlatan hashtag coach? No, it's Gorilla hashtag coach.
Might be just a team.
Map awareness, 0 points. In this round, playing A site is a really good idea. The only problem is that, you know, right now we need to bait the shit out of our teammates if the ISO ults. Like, if ISO uses the ultimate, we need to make sure that Sage and Reyna are in front of us. And this, starting on this angle is fine, just, you know, on the A set of Icebox, like, you have so many good off angles, like, you know, you can basically play this position, hold the belt, this spot here, you can play in 3 different ways. You can play all the way here, narrow down the angle as much as possible, kill the enemy there, drop down, reposition with a smoke, get some other off angle. This off angle here is one of your secondary or third positions to get a kill. This spot as well. Then, this spot here we can also play like this and try to kill the enemies moving through belt. Then we can hide from the enemies, peek them, kill them. Like this spot here, we can play all the way to the left, surprise the enemies, then drop down, and with the dash ability, kill the enemies on the belt. Then you can hide from the enemy's peek in aim in, like this, and then surprise the enemies with the peek, kill them. We can hold the belt from this off angle, try to kill the enemies there. Like, on all of these positions, you know, timing is very important, which I've explained in my ranked playbook. I fully covered in ranked playbook, like, how you should move on these positions, how you should reposition, and what type of timings you need to hit. Like, so where he's playing right now, it's okay. It's okay. This was a nice try. You know, I've just noticed that when you, in general, you know, the main thing that you're lacking mechanically are micro corrections. Like, your micro adjustments can be much better. I don't know what to tell you about your sensitivity. It looks okay. You know, I don't know your grip style. I don't know what type of aim training you're doing, but after this after this VOD review, I'm probably gonna recommend you some kind of aim training that is more focused on static aim and just, you know, polishing down the micro flicks and micro adjustments.
Enemy spotted A.
Ooh, I hear that. I hear this shit. Listen here. Please. When you're using operator, it doesn't matter if it is, you know, hold or toggle. You need to have this option enabled and put it on some kind of a button. Why? So, you don't need to do this. Like right now, when you were scoping in and out, you had to do this. Basically, you need to press your right click multiple times to move in and out of the specific scope. So, you see. But, if you have this option enabled, toggle zoom level, then you don't need to move out of the scope. Like, if I'm holding a tight angle or a long range angle, I'm gonna hold it with 5x zoom. I mean the double zoom. Double scope. But if enemies can peek me from here, here, and here, I'm gonna hold a 1x scope so that I'm able to see enemies on all of these angles. If enemy Jett is dashing in my face, it is much easier for me to kill an enemy that is close and in a mid-range fight with a 1x scope. So having this toggle zoom level option is very important. And understanding when you should 1x or double scope. But having this shit that you have, like where you need to do this to move in, out, in, out, it's just stupid, man. Don't do that to yourself. Especially with Jett, you know, like using snipers is mega important, and this is very important.
Coming to be fat.
You play hold or toggle on sniper? Always hold.
Spike planted.
Hold CT?
Oh my god.
Hold CT?
Up. Fucking up here. What else?
Listen here, like, I mean, 90% of times, if your teammates are already moving through here, you should move through CT and engage the enemies from this position. Especially if you have the operator. I mean, like, the best pathing for you, even if you're going alone and the rest of your team is playing together here, is just to, you know, take the CT control, and then from the CT, you can potentially get some easy kills on the enemies in the yellow. Then we can jump spot the enemies, activate the dash ability, pick them here, pick them there, and try to get some kills. No, all Pharaoh, like, hold is much better than toggle. Much better. But just a lot of people don't wanna get used to it, and it is what it is. For an average player, like, hold is better than toggle. A very good switch to the Phantom. I would have also done that. Like, whenever you have a operator or some kind of a sniper, for a retake, for a clutch, like, you should drop it down for the first gun that you see on the ground. And listen,
One enemy remaining.
whenever, like, you're playing retakes, if you have a lot of time to defuse the spike, and enemies in front of yourself, most of the times it is better if you give that job of defusing the spike in the hands of your allies. And you should be the one that has the gun in the hands and actually protecting them. Because you never know in ranked solo queue how well your teammates are gonna protect you. Like here, I would not do this. I would just tap the spike to fake the defuse, so the enemy sways the shock darts and molotovs, whatever, and I would swing together with my teammates and fight with them. And I'll tell my Omen or Sage, defuse the spike while I'm holding you.
Remaining.
Enemy spotted B.
Okay. And in this round again, I would basically play, you know, around the. I would hold the mid area of the map and lock down the mid area of the map with the operator, because once again, enemies are playing an eco, half by round. I would just go for the aggressive peek in the window, hold the mid area of the map, and play a fast rotation between A and B. Just based on the map rules and map knowledge and statistics. Ooh, this is a waste of a dash ability. Listen. First of all, I don't know why the fuck you're playing that angle when you can just, you know, you can just do this. Like, why don't you play this off angle right here? Like, play more off angles. Like, the whole point of playing on a defender side is to abuse as many 90-10 and 70-30 gunfights before we commit ourselves to some 50-50 fight. Get the information first for yourself. Like, here, you know, I could just play here, hold this peak or this peak. If the enemy is peeking from that angle, okay, I'm gonna drop down, reset myself. If enemies peek me here, I'm gonna kill them. If enemies peeking from that angle, I'm not gonna try to kill them. I'm instantly gonna drop down, activate the dash ability, bop. Get him out of the server. Get on another angle. Like, or you already wanna hold from this position. No problem, like, you can just do this. I hold this peak with the op and narrow down this angle. If the enemy is peeking from that position, I don't need to fight. I can reposition, activate the dash ability, kill that guy. If the enemy is peeking from this angle, probably they're dead. I mean, I never saw anyone using a flash here or you know, Phoenix flash, Reyna flash, people just push with a recon ability anyways. But in this round, he should have played around mid.
Welcome to my world.
Yo, Yepetin, Wolf stream, brother. And this is something that you should, you know, you really need to be aware of. Like, you need to track on the minimap what type of timings enemies have and stuff like that. And if you have the operator, rotating through mid is one of the... It's impossible. Like, if you don't have the kitchen, if you don't have the mid area of the map, and you have the operator, fuck it. Just rotate through the CT. And, you know, like, be aware that enemies can peek you there. Clear this, that's it. Fuck it. At the end of the day, in Valorant, like, it's always better for you to stay alive and just play retakes together with your allies rather than getting punished in this type of a way. And anyways, like, what I said at the start of this round. Enemies like to lurk and flank, and also they're playing an eco halberd round. Like, it was so obvious they're gonna have somebody on a lurk and flank. And plus they had a... I don't know. Like, it was just obvious. Like, you need to read these type of things. You need to put more focus on enemies that are repetitive. Most of these tight angles you show us require a fast reaction time. You can build it up. You can train it. Like, hold angles as tight as your reaction time allows you. You don't need to hold the angles as tight as I hold them, you know. If you cannot hold this angle like this, I can take a kill here. Hold it like this. It's fine. Whatever. You know, just place your cross in the middle then. And do micro corrections. But these initial angles, like initial fights that you take, should always be 70-30 fights. Like, and that private coaching video, I'm gonna share with you specifically. Like, you need to understand a bit better how to take more efficient fights against the enemies. And you need to understand a bit better, like, how to read the enemies, read the game. And that's the training and videos that I'm gonna share with you. Like, you know, after this VOD review, you're gonna get like 6 hours of additional coaching, you know. Basically. Yeah, this was such a stupid death. Did I win this somehow? No? Okay. Yeah. Now, Bulldog is, you know, in this round he bought the Bulldog. I mean, how much money he had? Oh yeah, like, you know, this is a Bulldog heavy shield round. If our teammates wanna buy it, yeah, Bulldog heavy shield. Okay, good economy option. Your economy management is fine, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, going crazy.
B.
Oh, they're not pushing up.
I don't know why holding this angle this wide. Like, if I have a numbers advantage here, why would I commit to the fight here? I'm 5 versus 3. My Sage is pushing behind the enemies. Omen has locked down the B side. I have the Gecko that can peek on my contact and fight together with me, but why are you committing to the fight here? In this example, I would just once again narrow the angle just for the information and to potentially get a kill. I'll hold this. Try to kill one enemy. And now with the Gecko, with his flesh and with his body, I'm able to peek together and fight together.
There's two thing B, man.
We need to clear the middle. Whenever you're moving through the middle, like, please, you know, if you don't have information about this, check these angles, like,
Oh, they're pushing.
okay, no one's there.
One of them.
One enemy remaining.
Okay, I mean, here, like, as long as we play together, we win this round, but... to be honest, like, even this round, I've seen some players that lose even this round. Like, this round is even losable. Listen here, man. Like, the VOD that you submitted, not really the best ever, you know. But based on this VOD, and based on your Valorant tracker statistics and the questions that you asked me, follow everything that I'm gonna share with you after this coaching session, after this VOD review, to the core. I promise you, in the next 2 months, you're immortal guaranteed. 2 to 4 months maximum. Like maximum. If this is how you shit on these players, and if this is how you play the game, if you apply the solutions, training, and also the tips that I gave you throughout this VOD review, immortal guaranteed until the end of this year. Maybe even Immortal 3, to be honest. Because these players look like... I don't know if this is one of those games where your enemies are just so bad. But these players look like they're like 6 ranks below you. Not 6, like 3 to 5 ranks below you. But I can see, like, you know, based on this VOD, how on some of the other maps you're probably gonna... You struggle a lot probably because you're not reading the game. You're not really... I don't know, you're playing East side, has a default site on Iceboxes or Jett, like... not a single time you played A set once on Icebox, like... Your game knowledge is really suffering, lacking a lot. I would also recommend you to pay attention to my ranked playbook, man. You know, for Jett I covered everything, like every single map. Try to apply some of these tips, some of these pathing, some of these executes, routings, like... You're playing Jett in a very boring way. I mean, boring in terms like... You're predictable, you know, and that's it. But overall, like, you know, for a Platinum 3 Diamond 1 player, this ain't bad. If you apply everything that I'm gonna share with you, Immortal is more than possible. Like, chances are 80% you're gonna reach Immortal until the end of this year. Unfortunately, there's nothing else I can say on stream, because right now I'm gonna chat with him through the private messages. Sorry guys, I'm gonna cuck you as always a bit, you know. I need to, you know, some of my private coaching needs to remain private. But next VOD review is gonna be much more interesting because we have Omen on Ascente. That one is always good. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. Subscribe to my main YouTube channel as well. We're like 100, we're only 300 subs away from 100k finally after 4 years like of grinding this. Like, come on, man. It's been a long road. Join my daily streams on Twitch. I mean, during business days. I don't stream during the weekends. I'm only coach during the weekends. Join my Discord server. Like, there is a giveaway right now running, and I organize, you know, regular giveaways for free VOD reviews, coaching, Valorant points, stuff like that. You can get my private coaching, blah 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 blah. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video or VOD review.